All right, everyone, we're back. I made zero progress on the truck. As with so many things in my life, I got sidetracked, and then new parts came, and I got excited, and I can't help myself. So, this is our situation currently. Now, I know we have some adjustment with this and this. It's a brand new cable, but we can max them out, and we still do not get proper actuation. So, we got our brandy new pressure plate there. So we're gonna put that on and see where it gets us. So let's lay this bike over to our side. Gently. So you got the gas off, but there's still some in the bowl, so that's what that is. We'll pull our spring off. That way this brake lever can get out of our way. And once again, so I can get yelled at, we'll use their handy dandy impact. Loosen these bolts. One-handed, need the foot assist. Yeah. Oh, I'll take all them out. I really need to get some camera that has a little more relief on the perspective here. It's like always close up. I should have kept spinning these a little further. You could drain your oil before doing this and just leave it vertical, but we did just put new oil in it. We also did a little bit of repair to the basket. I don't know, it's lots of guys do it, it's controversial, but the basket was pretty well worn. We had to do a lot of other things to this bike, put a whole new top end, new cylinder and everything on it. Previous owner had run the air filter without a cage, so we can all imagine that didn't fare too well, and all the dirt just got past it, took out the top end, and anyway, it was a bunch of money, so rather than get a new basket for, it was, I don't know, $500-ish on top of all the other repairs, we filed it. So we'll see that here in a minute. Well, I guess we won't. We're just taking off this pressure plate. We'll get to see it. All right, I'm gonna get something to set these on. I don't really want them in the dirt, so we'll get a paper towel set on. Back with our paper towel. Take out the bolts of the springs, which, mind you, they are very long. One. Probably use the impact to continue to spin them out if you really want. I may do that. These are in here a little further than I thought. Two. Oh, lost the bolt. It fell down. Well, there's the spring. We'll retrieve the bolt in a minute. So many turns. Oh god, almost lost another bolt. There we go. 4, and our last one. Alright, come here. Okay. And you have to push our brake down out of the way. Get this pressure plate loose. It is a little stuck with through the oil. There we go. We'll flip her over and we can see in that center how much material has been eaten away, because this right here is our throwout bearing. One side of it has a roller, and the other side is just a nice flat disc. Ooh, there was a washer in there. We'll set that over. That must have been a spacer Derek put in. But nice flat space that does not typically spin. So they put it in this way with that out into the soft aluminum, rather than this way with the rollers and high pressure points into the nice hardened shaft. So that is where I believe we caused our problem. Well, we didn't, but the previous owner did. And we'll get our new one out here so we can compare. Okay, and you can see Center on the new one. Center on the old one. You can actually see the wear marks for the individual rollers on that bearing. So we're going to put the new one in and see what happens. Alright guys, so just to give you a heads up, this is, we were filing these surfaces because as the plates kind of flop around here, they gain a little momentum. The basket's only aluminum, and these are, I believe, steel. And whenever they jam against it, it puts some wear into it and actually presses itself into those fingers themselves and on the inners as well, down in here. The inners are usually not as bad. It's usually the outers. They seem to take more force. So, and it's natural. It happens over time to all baskets. I haven't had a steel one for long enough to know, but I would imagine that even they experience that over time. Obviously, I would have expected a much reduced rate. But this outer is pretty expensive, and we did not replace it. We just took a file and tried to keep the same angle that was existing to give a nice flat surface, because whenever they pound themselves into it, they make a stair-step looking pattern, and that prevents the discs from being able to smoothly slide and release themselves upon pulling the clutch in. So it's another repair we had to do. Anyway, here we go. It's time out. I'm going to go ahead and throw that new pressure plate on and slap her back together, and we'll see how it goes. Alright guys, just want to give you a quick update. I did a good bit of work to the RM off camera. Ended up hitting a few snags. That pressure plate definitely needed changed, but it turns out it's more than that. I believe when they had the thrust bearing flopped around, evident by those marks in the old pressure plate, that it actually locked up that bearing, which is why they had the divots exactly in the shape of the barrels in the bearing, and caused the actuator rod slash, I'm not sure what you would call it, I guess it's the mating surface for the thrust washer or throwout bearing, but those two more or less lock up and rotate. The one side of the actuator rod is shiny and looks wore down. I believe the inside of that mating surface for the bearing, the other piece, is also worn down on the inside. So I took a washer, I ground it down to about 1/2 mil thick, 0.4 mil, and that gave me the clearance because I still had no extra cable left. It was the whole way out, all adjustments, and just unable to get any extra play. So I put that in there, that spacer in there, and it gave me, it seemed like a pretty acceptable clutch. I still had some extra cable left. It had a good actuation length. So I believe what has happened is that rod and the other surface that it rides on spun together when the bearing was locked up and just wore each other away. Like I said, it's only 0.4 millimeters, which is, it's hardly anything. It's actually about the same distance as the beveled surface on the rod, so nearly nothing. But I believe it's that. So I think I'm going to suggest Derek get the new rod, the new mating surface assembly, and even the new throwout bearing. Just replace it all. I can't imagine all of it's too awful expensive, and it's definitely had some wear on it from improper installation with the last owner. So I think a clean slate's probably our best bet. It may even suggest that he replace the quarter angle, or the actuator barrel on the other side that actually hooks into the cable itself on the other end. I haven't pulled that out and looked at it. Actually, now thinking about it, that's probably all right, because the other end of the actuator rod didn't show any signs of excessive wear or anything, like the clutch pack side. So it was probably isolated to just one side of the rod spinning. I don't think it actually gained enough friction with the oil and stuff in there to spin the entire rod assembly. So the other side's probably all right, but we'll see what he wants to do and how much the prices are. I haven't checked any of that yet. But as of right now, it has a decent clutch. It's kind of a little bit rigged together, but definitely usable, and I don't foresee any major problems. Maybe he'll just want to run it for now until he gets his new basket, because the extra parts will be a small small amount relative to the new outer basket. I think it was like an inner two. So he's looking to spend quite a bit of money in the near-ish future. We're going to take it all out anyway again. So this may be good enough to get us by for a few weekends. This probably isn't the approved method. If I were doing this for someone, customer or something, I wouldn't be replacing it this way. I'd be putting new parts in. But being our own personal bikes and not having really the liability of worrying about it, and I mean, even worst case, if something does happen and it wears into that shim I just put in, then so be it. Those parts were shot anyway. It's gonna give Derek functionality at least to go ride. So that's where we're at, and that's probably where we're gonna end it today. I still haven't got anything done with the truck, and this ate up a lot more time than I expected. So I really got to get on that so I can do some work to the bus. Right now I'm daily driving the bus to work, so it's not that it's not that bad. I don't mind it, but definitely not ideal. So and I got to get this truck done, so we're gonna do that. And I don't know. We'll see if Derek shows up this afternoon. Maybe we can do his forks then. I'm comfortable riding my forks for tomorrow, but I don't know if he is. And I don't know. If I get into one set of forks, I'm probably gonna do them both. At any rate, if I do, I'll video out on that. If not, I'll probably drop this one on its own.